Let's go. You are the king. This is the underground. Back for another one. Good evening. Much love. I see everybody checking in from all over out there. Good to be back. Good to be with you. Much love, Kenny G, D White, Kev Bar, Hoodie Ross. Everybody out there sharing the stream. Fry Guy, Tacos, Tooch, Gary, all the crew. Pixie, Deanne, Boomer. Good to see everybody out there. Meat Puppet, Bones, Sailor. Thank you for the feedback on the mic check. Bill K with us. Happy 2025. Everybody in the house. Wolf Club. Jesus Saves. Walk with God. Mass Chaos. Skeeby. I hope all is well. Yeah, thank you, John. Good to see you. Eon. Bulletproof. Flip. John Boy. Well, just sitting here thinking of everything going on. It's just nonstop. We got a lot to cover here. If you guys got any beautiful shots like the one we're starting off with here tonight, send them to me. Let me know, dabu7@yahoo.com. Look to share them, get them out there. Love beautiful, unique shots and images like this. And if you got anything you need to get at me, in the chat at me at Dabu77. Just like Curious Georgia did. Much love and God bless. All right, so get this thing popping with an unfortunate event here that we're going to talk about quite a few things tonight. Obviously, Israel, Iran, the whole No Kings thing, a bunch of other things and topics. But going to start off here with some things that have happened here within the past couple days. And you may have heard Air India 787. It took off and it crashed right after it took off. Really wasn't in the air that long at all. It looks like it never got any thrust for liftoff. Only one person shockingly survived. Everyone else killed horrifically. There's images of this event that I'm not going to show just because it's, even if I showed you, you'd be hard pressed to realize that it's a body. You'd like make out some bit that it's a body, but like it boggles the mind. It's horrific. And much love, Sailor. Yeah, and rest in peace to all these people, all the souls that lost their lives. Boeing shares down 7.5% after this. And we keep talking about the situation with Boeing. It just keeps getting brought up over and over and over again. And I'm going to share some video shots here. Part of the plane embedded into this building. Ton of people witnessing this. Of course, India, the most populated place on the planet right now. Here it is. It just took off, and literally that quick. Fireball. It's scary because it's scary, man. Because friends, family, or you're on the tarmac 1 minute, and then within 5 minutes you're dead. It's just, you see this so much. And in a situation like that, I can't help but think that, like, they cram these airports into some of these places. And I get it if you have to. But, like, by and large, buy up a little bit of space down from the runway for incidents like this, just in case, because it's bound to happen, just like this. One of them's bound to have a little bit of issue on liftoff and going to have to come back down immediately. It's just, you just seen it. If that would have been taken into consideration, somehow, some way, maybe it would have saved some lives, but I don't know. I don't know what ultimately brought this down. Some people were looking at the flaps, and it looked like they didn't move. And it's one of those unfortunate things. Seeing too much of it lately, though. But again, a miracle here amidst this tragedy. A British national believed to be the sole survivor of this flight. This was India Flight 171, killed 241 people. He walks away with just a few scratches. Literally. Again, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Here's a different angle. If you haven't seen it, take a look at the guy. You're enjoying, you're looking out the window, you're taking off, and just starting to get going. I'm sure it wasn't on anyone's minds that they were about to die. And it gets no higher than about that right there. It just drops, starts going down. And again, with no safe place to land, not even a highway or a road or something like that there, like it just came down where it came down, and instant fireball. I mean, people didn't even have time to react. Literally, that by the time they started to think like, oh, how we're going down, what's going on? By the time they're asking all these questions, man, they're hitting the ground. It pisses me off, to be honest with you. Um, I just I feel for the souls, man. A lot of them are in shock over this. Um, so this guy, see, that's a little bit more than a few scratches, but apparently this guy survives in seat 11A, which they say traditionally is not the safest seat on the plane, but you just never know. I mean, it's going to be a miracle of God anyway. You walk away from something like this, but he's walking. He's getting a ton of people saying he seems pretty pissed off. He seems pretty pissed. I would be too. I mean, um, I don't. I just know that he survived. I don't know if he had friends or family, or I'm sure. And walking away from this and knowing that everybody else is died in it, it's a good possibility. Yeah, wing seats aren't. Well, it's all also about just like if you're thrown, where everything scatters to, that probability, right? Because the wings hold the gas and they are traditionally, the danger. That's what blows up, causes the fireball, is the wings. No other way around it. Now we've seen in the past people that were at the very back of the plane survived, even this past year, crashes, because the back can snap off, and depending on the situation, again, how it gets tossed and scattered, people can survive it, and that actually happened. And a bunch of the other people in the crash died. Same thing here. I mean, but this is just his brother died. Okay. So see, that's enough, right? It doesn't matter. I mean, it's so shocking, man. It's like, and thank you, Weiling. He had uncles and aunts on the flight. I thought, well, okay, man, that's enough right there. It just hurts. People sitting right next to you, like nobody made it. That's, I don't know. It's just what it is about this one. Just it's not good, man. I believe we got the technology to move around this planet, almost like the Jetsons or whatever you want to call it, but they're holding it. And I don't even know if I'll see it on my lifetime, if they're rolled out for the masses. I always say that if so, it'll be in a beast system, like a carrot on the stick, to entice you to come into it, but you can't participate in it without your mark and all that good stuff, which you could just count me out. But I think that we could be moving all over the place, and they are, with this technology. They kind of hinted at that with these drones. The drones got all this brand new tech incorporated into them, and it was kind of like soft disclosure for those paying attention, the care. So on this Friday the 13th, We have war beginning, which I'm going to cover all on its own in the war segment when we get there, as I always do. But the futures tumble, oil soars, as this Friday 13th ushers in a new Middle East war. Now, different things are affected different out there in this game. I was talking to one of the guys, and I was like, man, if I recall, because I've been doing this for so long, I've literally been reporting through so many of these cycles. I can remember when certain things have done certain things. And I told him that I remember when a skirmish, when Israel, Iran, it popped off like pretty heated, and it dumped the crypto markets, or Bitcoin it was specifically. And what I remembered is that it pulled it back and gold surged. Same exact thing just happened. And I even went over to Grok afterwards and I asked him, I was like, what's about to happen? What is about to happen? Like, and it gave me this, drawn out response. And within it said it that, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Like if there's a strike, it'll dump. And it's what happened. And it would recover. What was crazy is when I was looking at that chart, who would ever think that a little tiff, a little fight, a feud between Trump and Elon would dump that market out, Bitcoin, harder than Israel, Iran, potential World War III. Let's go back and look at it. It's true. It's crazy. But this is all ran off news and all that other stuff. All this, the markets are all connected to this stuff. It's all staged, it's set up. I'm telling you, we're coming up on the economic 9/11. And it's not going to be a pretty thing here. But look, in this instance, futures tumble, so they get pulled back. Oil soars, gold soars. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Platinum takes off running. Haven't updated on platinum in a minute. Usually gold, silver, other things, even copper, steal the spotlight, and rightfully so, because when we're talking about them, it's because of major moves. And platinum has just been on the creep. Again, it doesn't really get talked about as much, but here it is coming up on trying to put in a high. They're saying, how much higher can this thing go? It shot up out of nowhere. But when you look at all the technology that's going to need platinum going forward, especially with AI and all this, somebody is realizing in their books that, like, we're going to need a lot of platinum to do this. We're going to need a lot of silver, a lot of copper. We're going to need a lot of all this gold. It's going to have to go into this just on the technology side. Believe it or not, it's the truth, especially in the AI world and going forward. So this changes things. I mean, you're seeing them making the moves pretty swiftly. They've got the whole base of Trump glossed over pretty good here. They're getting away with doing a ton of stuff. No questions being raised for the most part. Some people are waking up, which is good to see. We need more of it. Another thing that's on the rise and it doesn't stop is gold. It passes the euro. It's the second largest global reserve asset on the planet. So yeah, I would say something going on. These guys, the central banks, have been buying gold nonstop, setting a record every week for as long as I've been on here talking to you. Like years and years and years and years and years and years. Gold has just been going uphill the whole time. It was the first thing that really caught my attention out there, almost a decade ago. Well, yeah, about a decade ago. Big time. And silver. And that's when I dove into the game and was like, look, man, when it comes down to it, gold is the real currency. And They seem to love it. They're buying it up. Now we're finding out that China has been buying record amounts and trying to hide it, which isn't no mystery. They want gold, not dollars. Um, when I say that, that reminds me of a song um, by a rapper named Cannabis from years ago, Fiat Complete. They put me in it, and I was surprised. They didn't ask me, but I was kind of honored. It was cool. It was fighting against the beast, his music was. And it was talking about China. They want gold, not dollars. It always stood out to me in my mind. But it's true. That's all China's done ever since I remember hearing all that song and that album. It's so true. It's all China's been doing is buying gold breakneck speed. And they're showing it on paper, record amounts, but then what they do behind the curtain, they're saying is also. And how they try to keep track of this is because the places that are selling it, they know that it's getting fed into Asia, but they don't know exactly where it's ending up. But large majority, after doing investigating, they come to find out that it ends up in the government's hands, in their coffers, so to speak. But gold, when it comes to the basket out there, the commodities in money basket, look at that. Gold is gained all up to 20%. The US dollar is 46%. Man, I'm telling you, I could see gold. I mean, how's that even proper? I could see like them switching spots where gold doubles to like 40 some percent there, and like the dollar like 25% or something. It would still be more powerful than the euro and still be the most powerful fiat currency on the planet at that point. But gold's king. A lot of people can't afford it right now. It's on a tear. 3,000. It's with 3,400. It's gonna hit 4,000 here in no time. If it stays at this, no doubt we'll be coming up on 20,000 by 2030. And now would be the time to really get in, to load up for that haul, I think. I mean, it's not going to really pull back a whole lot. You're not seeing gold hasn't. You may get little pullbacks here and there out of nowhere, or maybe news related in some crazy way. But all in all, I mean, that's how everything has its ups and downs, as long as it's not massive. Gold continues on a tear, and I believe it will. Again, if you're out at the flea market, yard sales, anything this summer, and you see somebody that's got an old bag of old silverware that's all corroded and all this, and they've got like a dollar a piece on or something, like I'd offer them a deal and snatch it up, because the silver is going to be worth its weight big time. Here come the layoffs. Jobless claims rise to an 8-month high. This isn't good. And you keep hearing of these companies that are investing in the United States because of Trump's tariff thing. They're like, okay, so we'll build there. But on the back end, what you come to hear and find out is that their plans are to make these things like all AI and like robot majority. I mean, that's what the future is. We already know a ton of these places are morphing over to that. So, we're facing a rough time in terms of where jobs are going to be here just by 2030 and beyond. It's going to be a struggle. You're not going to be, you will be fighting or competing with whatever humans are here for the small amount of jobs that are left. All the rest will be taken over by AI. This will help defeat a greater depression globally. This moment in time will. But it has to balance itself out, because if they're not careful, they'll end up destroying everything, even themselves, because you have to keep the economy going. If you fail to do that and fail to keep jobs there, and the people have to have jobs to have money to buy. If you kill all that, then your warehouse is dead. No one can buy the product that your robots are trying to make and ship out and all this other stuff. It's not going to go anywhere. So there's a fine line there. You know, I don't know, man. Anytime I look at these numbers and I look at where we're heading with this, it's not good. And I got to put the warning out. Micron going to invest 200 billion to make the chips, the global chip war, whatever's going on here. Again, largely, this warehouse is going to have newer technology. It's going to be AI driven. Yeah, there will be some opportunity in the short term for humans, but as time goes on, we're just getting weeded out. It doesn't feel good. So you get weeded out, don't have a job, can't afford nothing, you got to live somewhere, right? Homelessness going through the roof. Talk about the homeless vets all the time. Talk about the camps springing up all over the place, not only in America but in Canada as well. And what we've seen, and I'm sure in Europe and other places, in the UK, there's pockets of people that are living out of the vehicles because they have no choice. So if you want to buy a home in any of the major cities, I just want to point out like what it's going to take from here. It's kind of shocking. These numbers. It's saying the salary needed to buy a home. You can just look there on the map and you can see. But man, San Jose, California, you got to make it $500,000, period, flat out, just to afford a home there. The median home price in San Jose is over $2 million. Yeah, yeah. You know, you're not even talking about like what was known as some of the nicer places in the past, like San Diego, about around $250,000. Los Angeles, somewhere around the same. Southern California, you'd expect to be expensive, but the most expensive part of California is the central part up here, which is San Jose and San Francisco, right behind it. Yeah, man. So I mean, that's a lot of money right there compared to all these other places: Cleveland, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, Charlotte, Atlanta, Birmingham, Tampa, Orlando. All them, what, 120 or less you can make, $120,000 or less you make in a year. So it's just what it is, man. Gonna move on here to this outage. Maybe you guys got hit by this. I try to keep everybody posted on what's going on in real time over on X. That's why I say make sure you're following me over on X, because if there's breaking news, which there is every day, and there's all kinds of different stuff popping off. Yeah, I cover it 3 times a week on the live streams and I pop off videos. But if I put a video out on something in a day and there's like 5 other things that are breaking, information is on X. And yes, I'm censored there just as bad as I am on YouTube, it seems. But this big outage, I said, is this a beta test? Google Cloud, they say, experienced an outage. It affected like everything. Because like everything is like connected to this cloud and runs off of it. As you can see, Etsy, Nest, Google, search, period, anything connected to Google. IKEA, Spike, Gemini, Major League Baseball TV, Marvel, all these places, Spotify, because they all run off their cloud. It's pretty crazy. Just gotta open up over there. Okay, so Down Detector, if you don't know, Down Detector is a good site to bookmark. Bookmark it. If anything's ever down, well, hopefully you have the internet to check it. Um, but if you can, it'll show you all these places that are down. Give you a big list. Like this. And this is current, what's going on. All the places reporting an outage. You can see Fortnite, Fox News up there at the top, and all the rest of them they've got listed here. Nothing major seems to be going on at this moment. I mean, everyone's got their own little issues. As you can see, little spikes, DirecTV, here and there, CNN. So CNN and Fox News, interesting. Both seeing a little spike here recently. Interesting two news places. CNN, X, you can see everything there. Google seems to be fine now. But yeah, bookmark, Down Detector, just to check on things like that's a good site. We've got people saying, look, we've got reasons to leave Maryland. If any of you guys out there live in Maryland, Baltimore, anything like that, much love. Shout out to Tooge, all my people up there. Well, they're saying that there's going to be rolling blackouts. I mean, this day and age. So get ready. For a long time, we've expected a massive blackout. You know, when the grid goes down, you better be ready. We made a song about it. So this could begin in states because they're all set up and ran different, but different groups of people. I don't know, rolling blackouts, this doesn't sound good. It doesn't seem good at all. And just a heads up here, we know the grid is due to get hit, take a licking here at some point, a large scale. If they hit just a handful of the right places, the Chinese that are sitting in here or anyone else, it's just set up. Anyone could do it and just blame whoever, however it's set up. But the grid will affect us large scale. So in the summer, these people are getting put in the dark, and like out in California, it just blows me away. The scam that's pushed on people in different areas. All the people that get left in the dark like this in rolling blackouts, yet they have solar panels on their house, on their property. Whole system. They got rebates on all this other stuff, but yet because of the local laws, it has to be grid tied and all this other garbage. No, I don't think so. That's ridiculous. If you've gone out of the way to buy and pay for solar panels and you cannot have power like in a downed situation like this, and you have to sit in the dark with everyone else, that's a scam. That's a ripoff. You've been played. And if you don't like it, like, say something about it, do something about it, or like, get out of there. No way. I look across the country at certain places, certain states, their laws and their rules, and it would be very difficult to survive there in a survival situation. It just would be. And that's why I don't know how people are going to make it. You couldn't even legally go survive off grid if you needed to. That's ridiculous. Because it's against the law over there. Can't collect rainwater, can't have solar panels, do this, that, like whatever. Get out of here with all that. Get out with all of it. Every bit of it. I'd rather be in a state where you're free to do any and all of it. We can do anything you want. Go in a building, there's not even no permits needed to do certain stuff. Like you just do whatever. I'm down with that. Be free to do what we want. And be off grid, and no one could say a damn thing about it. Or live in a place where it's actually encouraged, It pains me to see good people have to get stuck and suffer in a situation like this. Some people don't know it. They don't learn until they find out the hard way. But rolling blackouts can affect everybody out there, man. This summer it could be blistering hot, which you know it's going to be in some weeks, some days. And what happens if it's then? You have no AC. What happens if it's the elderly? And this and that. Like, things to think about. Just saying. So apparently Maryland facing an issue. All right. This one caught my attention. Rightfully so, I guess, because I've told you the pandemic that they put us through was a scam and a beta test, in my opinion, for a real deal. Much love, Jay from the Ville. A real situation. I don't say that lightly. It's really the biggest threat we face. A real deadly something that they release. Well, looky here. South Korean lab makes bird flu 100% lethal in mammals. We ain't nothing but mammals, you know? That's, we're not good, you know? Yeah. So, not good. Just to have 40% rate, what they were talking before was scary. That's what I kept telling you. Like, just to have something floating around out here that would kill 40% of whoever got it is like scary as crap. We haven't faced that. We didn't face that with the pandemic so that we went through, whatever you want to call it. At all. At all. When almost half the population gets wiped out of anyone that gets something, that's crazy. But they're talking 100%. It's done. They've done it. South Korean lab done did it. So where are they going to ship this to? What plane's going to crash carrying it? You know, some animal comes, you know, in contact with all this, and it spreads. It gets out into the open, and like it's over. It starts spreading somehow, some way. I don't know. That's pretty bad. I just wanted to put it out there. It's pretty bad when it comes to the updates. It's scary. And this was done with mice with the strain of the highly pathogenic H5N1 of all of them, which is the one that we're always warning about. They've did it. They're telling you right there. They're telling the whole world right here, but nobody's paying attention. No one's paying attention. It just won't stick. Even I say it tonight. People hear it. Will people take it serious and prepare for anything like this? I've been preparing for this moment for, like I said, 5 years. Ever since the lockdown, the whole scam began. And sure, the whole thing was a beta. For some, you don't run a beta test for nothing. Do you understand where I'm at with this? You don't. Anybody with the brain should be able to figure this out and look back and say, hey, they did a lot. They all locked us down, put us through crap with checkpoints, had to have essential papers, 6 feet apart everywhere you go, mask up, and it was all a beta test. Why would you go through all that trouble? Literally. For all that time. You do it if you're testing to see how things are going to go. It's the closest thing that you would do before you run a real event. You would have to do it as a safety measure. You would have to. Of course, they're feeding all the data that they got from this into AI. So AI is now able to calculate that with probability of what happened with, I don't know, this that they just made in a freaking lab that can kill anything it touches. Like, it's inevitable. They're going to release something here, a concoction with some kind of stupid story, and this one's going to be the real deal and deadly. And man, I've said it before, the Most High in heaven's given me the visions. And they scared me bad enough to where I sacrificed everything in my life for the past 5 years to prepare for what's coming. I don't know. What are you going to do? I think it's stupid that, like, you just had people going, knocking on doors, checking to see if people were jabbed and people snitching people out. Like, no. I'm not getting caught in that. I said that immediately. Hit me like, there's no way. There's no way. Like, when this goes live, I was being shown, like, the real deal. While all the scam was unfolding. So it, like, I don't know. I have never met or anyone else that takes it as serious as I do, but I guess in the end, it's what it is. How many live streams, how many times, how much proof, how much evidence, how many glaringly obvious things do we gotta talk about here that it's coming? It's like, enjoy your time with friends and family. Enjoy being free. Have family reunions. Go about your business on a daily life without getting stalked, harassed, mask up. Can't even walk in a building without getting barked at. Yeah, all this that right? Or people's memories in a attention span's really that short? Are we that screwed? Does anybody even care? Anymore, I really wonder if anyone even cares of anything. Hard pressed to find anyone that actually is doing anything. They just watch us. So Texas, they're preparing for a weekend of protest with the National Guard being deployed. So they're taking it serious. I hope you're ready. We put out the warning, talked about this last couple streams, put out videos. The whole No Kings thing is real. It's organized, as we're going to tear into here, and they're going to bring chaos to the big city near you. It may not be the smaller cities, because they've got a bunch of them pinned on this map that I've shown over on nokings.org. You can just pull up your neck of the woods and, like, I mean, I find it hard to believe some of the cities that they got pinned are going to see any action tomorrow, like that I seen up here in the Appalachian Mountains. So I'm going to go down to some of the closest ones I can get to and scope it out and report back. Now, what is interesting is, even out in these remote places, what's every town usually have outside of a McDonald's and all that? A Walmart. Okay? They just do. And it ends up being a meetup spot by default for all walks of life, different events, different reasons, and things like that. This will be, no doubt, a major rally point for these people. And let me tell you why. Because we now know that the heiress, Mrs. Walton, from Walmart, the heiress herself, she took out ads pushing for these protests to fire up. She is the one that paid for that ad that has the Statue of Liberty and then has all the stuff on it. She did it. They did it. The most powerful people in this country are pulling these strings and doing these things and controlling This mob. So it's not just George Soros. All right. So this means with her pushing this, what do you think? You think that she's going to kick these people out of their parking lots? No, they're not. This becomes a stronghold. Do you understand this? People have got to start paying attention, dude. We're in a war, man. People just sleeping on all this stuff. When I went to Ferguson like a decade ago, and I was down there, where'd the military set up shop at? Where was the meetup? It was Walmart. Okay? Where were the BLM meetups and all that stuff at? In almost every town and city we went to. They would show up in Walmart parking lots, large scale. Now, BLM is broken down. BLM version 2 is here. And it's the same thing. Same goons plus some. I'm going to show you here in a second. On the last stream, I talked about how Churla was connected out of Southern California and funding via taxpayer money through Karen Bass and fueling all this via what's going on in California. But when this spreads across the country, you're talking the big dogs come out. Soros is there. Like I just said, Waltons are there involved, and many others, and other NGOs that are using our taxpayer money to fund this, which is crazy. So Texas, National Guard, getting deployed. I'd expect to see Austin see some action. Dallas, maybe. Just head on a swivel. Man, R.I.P. Big Danny. Uncommon. If you're out there and you hear me, man, let me know if you see of anything in El Paso. Uncommon News, Brother Doug. If you see anything going down in El Paso, let me know. God bless DJ. Yeah, Walmart's all part of the system. I want you to see this, though. This is organized on a massive scale. So look, if I go, for instance, or any other righteous person wants to roll in to a Walmart parking lot, there he is. Uncommon says he's on the street tonight watching. We'll go live. Make sure to follow Uncommon right there in the chat. 777, one of my mods. He's a real deal soldier. He is going to be out there covering his neck of the woods, and he will go live if anything pops off. Much appreciated, brother. I'll definitely have an eye on it. Anyone else out there? I'm telling you, grab your camera. Hoodie Ross, get that camera ready, because everyone's probably going to see, if you're in a bigger city, you're going to see some action somewhere. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear like, oh, they're down in this part of town. They're going to be somewhere toward the heart of town. More than likely around the government buildings, around the courthouse and things like that. That's where they gather. It's where they start their marches. That's where in all the big chaotic situations I've ever been in, downtown Cleveland, downtown DC, all these different places. It's in the heart of it, right in the middle of downtown. Where the rioters are literally smashing the glass at the downtown police station. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen it. That's what these things morph into. This is no joke. I'm just going with the flow here. My neck of the woods, again, I just don't see it. More hillbillies will pull up in a parking lot loaded than you'd ever imagine. Trust me, because people are hip to this at this point. It's going to be interesting. We'll see tomorrow. I'm going to have my phone on me too. If I go live on my channel and you see some confrontation, but as I was saying, if a righteous person was to roll up on a Walmart parking lot and you have a confrontation with these gang members, okay, which is what they are, okay, they're going to assault you and probably get away with it, because Walmart's not going to press charges on them. Do you see what I'm saying? They are backing them. They're going to look at you as the enemy. That if you don't bow down to this agenda, this is why you should boycott Walmart. Everyone should. It should piss you off bad. Especially if you're one of these people that go and you find them at a Walmart parking lot doing exactly what I'm telling you. And like, they're causing issues. The police show up and like, they have a right to be there, you're going to be told. Walmart's not kicking them off the lot. Well, hell no, they're not. They just push flyers all across the nation, tell these people to come out, and they're giving them a safe haven rally point. This is insane, dude. This is treason. As far as being organized and other people getting involved, this is lightweight heavier than what BLM was doing. BLM was stealing a lot of money and they were doing a lot of crazy things, and they were causing destruction across the country. They burned down a lot of crap and they attacked a lot of cities, and I covered a bunch of it. Okay. So this group is like 2.0. They're going to do the same thing. They've already shown it. And they're pulling from the Palestinian movement, the Tesla takedown, all these people and fresh young people that don't know any better. They're using green people, and they always do. They'll catch them in the newspaper. Hey, you want a summer job, making money, protesting in the streets, $15 an hour? We'll pay for all your meals, housing, the ride, all of it. These people are like, what? A young person that doesn't know any better sees this, and they're like, hold on. They call the number, and they go to the meeting, and they meet these people, and they're being told that obviously, Trump's the bad guy, and it's a big thing against the government. So in a way, it is awakening them to fighting against the beast in some form, but it's all controlled. That's what they don't understand, because they're green. And they're being controlled, manipulated in a movement to go out and start. You'll hear the same, and I'm seeing the videos of the same chants of no justice, no peace. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys couldn't even come up with a new slogan? You couldn't come up with a new chant or nothing for this? So it's the same crap being regurgitated. I just want you to know that. Mucho Spiro. They're getting more experienced, yes. More trained up. And so let me keep it pushing. I got more to add to this. Sam's Club too. Good point, Mr. Streets. Big time. The Watchman. Look at that. Watchman's like, no. Unfortunately, yes. They've got us by the kahunas, and they know it. People need these things, but we have to come up with an idea to boycott them strategically. Like, we have to find a place in town that you can get goods and supplies in like, wouldn't it be cool to just be a part of something like that, to effectively say, all right, we're going to switch it up this week. We're going to drive 20 minutes out of our way. We're going to go to this other place, get all of our goods, but we're going to do it and stand on it. Because for one, everyone I know is doing it, and we're proving a point this week. Only people that are up at Walmart are a couple live streamers filming the place empty. Ghost town. All right. And that's proving a point right there. All right. For real. It's hard to get people to do much of anything, though, is a problem. And by the time some do, most do, the crowd does, it's too late. A salute to those of you that fight the fight, though. For real. So the FBI arrests one of these guys leading the operation, Alejandro Theodore Orellano, arrested by the FBI in Los Angeles. Of course, somebody's got to go down. Some low-level goon's going to take the fall. We never see George Soros getting arrested, do we? And see, that's why this whole thing's comical. They'll take down the street goons, but the big boss men, they never get confronted on any of this. And we know who's paying for all this, organizing all this. So cut the head off the snake. Let's just get it over with. But they won't, because this is all a show. We've been watching this for years now, man. David, thank you for the gifting that membership. Whoever received it, welcome to the underground. Appreciate it to the fullest there. So this guy arrested for being one of the leaders here and pushing the stuff. They firebombed all the stuff, burnt all these Waymos. Again, look how young these guys are. They don't know. They think they're fighting against the beast. So part of them is like, it's messed up. They're being controlled. and steered the wrong way. Like, they need us out there. They need like the real revolutionaries that to like educate them on like what's happening here. The bigger hand. This is much more than just getting cut a paycheck and all this and coming out here and causing chaos. You need to stop attacking your own towns and cities and burning them down, and you need to take it to where the heart of the problem is. George Soros and company, Mrs. Walton and company, and all them. That is where you need to take it to. And I didn't say do it with pitchforks or violence. You could do it with starting with boycotts, waves of it. And you could do it to Soros too, all the things he runs. And like, you could apply pressure. People could. You can do it righteously. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So, I wish I had a way to reach the youth like this big time. I'm so censored out here on these waves. It's like, if I had just the money to get to all these places, I'd like travel there like some kind of speaker and like, yeah, risk getting my head blown off by the feds at some point, but I would rally the troops. I'd be speaking, like just educating. Like, sometimes you just got to get in the street and mingle and run with these cats and get to know them. And then when you're in, that's when you start speaking truth to power and dropping jewels. And that's how it's done. And but you got to get there first. You got to be there first. No, uh, you've got people out here like this, anti-ICE propaganda spreaders, coordinated influencers, shilling. We call them shills out here. They're out here doing some big shilling for the government and for ICE, or against ICE, all for Soros and all them from the other side. So, that reminds me. I gotta share with you this clip. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up this clip off my Twitter feed. If you follow me on Twitter, you already seen it. But for those that don't or that missed it, it's gonna be my laugh of the day. Just cause it is. This guy, and I got a lot on my feed, so give me just a second. This guy had an encounter with ICE, and I shot him, and they're shooting all kinds of people. I'll watch a journalist get shot right between the eyes with paintballs or rubber balls or whatever. And even though they're supposed to be non-lethals, they still can do major damage. And this guy right here is a perfect example of that. It's just it sucks, but it's just hilarious to me. Just the way he says it. It's short. It's a short clip. It's only 11 seconds long, but he's going to tell you his situation while eating a sandwich in the hospital room. It's just, I don't know. I roll every time I see it, but
I shot me in the nuts, and now I'm losing a ball. Surgery is tomorrow. I shot me in the nuts, and now I'm losing a ball. Surgery is tomorrow.
So I just the way he says it, the way he's eating the sandwich, and just the whole thing is just like, oh, it's classic. Like, you're never, it's classic. It's just, man, that dude. So, somewhere they're ripping in the chat saying at least they gave him Sammy or something, calling him that. It's crazy. I mean, they're not messing around out here, and they won't. They never have. Like, they'll never hesitate to throw a shotgun loaded right in your face. It's happened to me. And I'm a journalist with credentials hanging off my neck with a camera in my hand, and they know it. They'll do it to anyone. They do not care. The cops are like regular cops that get trained out there and sicked on the people. They're so hyped up and like on a warpath. They come swinging batons, shooting. I mean, it's nuts. Like, they mistreat the people so bad. I had my family in Louisville the last time we were out, and place was on fire. They were robbing everything. I was live streaming it. They caught the building on fire connected to my hotel. And like, these cops and all of them didn't care about nothing. I was loading my family up to get in the car to get them out of there because the building was on fire. And they come creeping around the corner staring at us. I always compare it to the guys off the Wizard of Oz. Oh, because they're in all black, and dressed up just like that. And they're just they're in lines, just marching like one step at a time. And they stop and they start staring us down. There's not a single car in this parking garage but mine. And we're like trying to get out of there. And they're just stop looking at us. And it's just like, man, like, you're pathetic. Like, you're pathetic. Like, you just sat there for hours right within 20, 30 feet of me while I live streamed, then burn 4th Street down, robbing the place. You could have taken down so many and stopped mad destruction. They could have stopped it. I mean, isn't that what they're supposed to be there for? But they weren't. They weren't. They didn't stop them from a single place. I watched them hit 30 different places down 4th Street and light them on fire and everything else. They didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. It's why I tell you, this stuff's a scam and a setup at higher levels than what people realize. And then when you fall back, when you're like, you look up, you know, like, take a second. Like I did, like just to look up at the sky for a split second to like ask God, like, God, what's going on? You notice there's people on the rooftops. And then they're feds. They're on all the rooftops. And it's always that way. It's like a setup. It's like a big operation. And they're overseeing it. Beach Girls, thank you for the coffee. That is the best way to support the show here at the top of the hour. Much love. God bless. Appreciate it to the fullest. I'm going to play this clip. This is a Florida sheriff warning what's going to happen if you mess around in Florida. Now, look, they got to be hard many instances. Yes, to crack down on the crazies. But I'm just saying, if you get caught up in the middle of this, there's like no love, like from no one, for a journalist. Because the street cats don't care. They'll brick you. The cops don't care. They'll shoot you with a beanbag gun. They'll pepper spray you. They'll blast you and shoot you in the nuts, as they just did the other dude. They don't care. They'll do whatever. It's like a war zone. But this warning right here, this is about as hard as you can get with how this guy says it.
So I'm gonna break it down for you. All right. And if somebody wants to know by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. You resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will kill you, grave yard dead. We're not going to play. This is got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing We will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, We will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Because we will kill you graveyard dead. You know? So, at this point, this is where we stand. The problem is falling into a trap. And you don't want to fall into the trap of a police state where, the feds are the answer. Where the police state is the answer. That has always been the big warning. Always has. They can create, just like they're doing, a fake protests in the streets. My warning's always been, if you sit there and you just watch it, and you don't do something about it, like obviously the cops are going to have your back out here. They should. Or the sheriffs. They should, because they're going against these mobs. So if you're defending your neighborhood from one of these mobs and all this, then the way that it always should be, if you're calling the cops for help or this and that, it should check out that way, right? Because they're coming to damage things and to cause chaos. But I'm going to tell you that you need to get organized. The cops are going to be overwhelmed. I've seen the cops get overwhelmed in every city I've been to. Every city. Every single city. So much so that they have to call them back up from surrounding areas, and they have to call them back up from who? You guessed it, the feds. So, I don't know. I get sick of I've been doing this for so long. It's the same old song and dance. This reminds me of the summer of love. Again, tomorrow, this is going to be all over the place. And I could see states of emergencies being sprung up, National Guard being spread out all over the place. I could see it getting pretty crazy in different places. So they're definitely going to bring it tomorrow. I'm telling you, they're definitely going to bring it. Just be prepared for someone that was planning to go up in town, the major city, have a bite to eat, or do anything. Don't be surprised if you come in contact with these hordes of people that are going to be out there in the street being used against us. Again, George Soros and everyone should be going to jail. So here is DeSantis also backing up what that cop just said. Let's play this quick clip.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you...
Well, that reloaded there. Basically, what he's saying is, you got a right to run them over. That's why the cop said it. And I just wanted to show you that DeSantis is saying it too. That if you try this, if anyone tries this tomorrow in Florida, you're going to get ran over bigger than crap. It's probably not the best place for them to try this, which is good for the people of Florida. It just is. Having smarter rules on the books and just being righteous about it, protecting your people, giving your people the ability to protect themselves righteously. You'll tell me I'm going to get in trouble and charged for murder because they were trying to kill me and surrounded my vehicle and I couldn't hit the gas. I had to just sit there. And what? Let them kill me? Shut up. That's not only unrighteous, it's stupid, it's pathetic. But yet, if you're in the wrong state and you get caught in the wrong situation, that could be you. I wouldn't want it. You won't catch me in some states. I won't even pass through some states. And I've been this way for a long time. For a long time. You don't respect my rights, my freedoms, I'll go around you. Whatever. Definitely won't be spending my money in you. Staying in your state and all this. Certain states, I do everything I can to avoid and go around. Like Illinois, for example. They don't want to respect my reciprocity for my gun rights and my freedoms. And the fact that we're just open carry here now and that we don't even need a concealed carry, anything. Everyone can write, constitutional carry. Everyone can carry. They don't want to respect that. They want to respect my right to protect my life. So it becomes an issue just driving through your state then, right? So screw you. The hell with your state. all your laws, all your crap. I'll do everything I can to, like, that's an enemy state to me. Enemy of the people. Like, I'm cool. I got even people that reside, even people listening in probably that reside in that state. I love my people, but it's the totalitarian part of it. And it's like that in many different states. You already know it. Newsom in California. Like, what are you going to do? And a much love to my people that are fighting the fight. You know, rather, I would say this, rather than just running and fleeing California, I would rather see people stay and fight. And for those that do stay and fight and that are fighting and fight, I salute you. Yeah, definitely no dog. Yeah, I know it's hell. I know that they're putting you through hell in so many different ways. But for the people that are staying and standing and fighting, it needs to be done on the righteous tip. It's just there's so much chaos, so much disinformation. I wish we could get to bigger airways. That's what we need strategically to get things changing and moving in the right direction. We need like to be on like the radio. We need to be like tapping into the big city somehow, some way. Um, we need something has to be done here. They've shut us off. They've put up walls everywhere. We need to knock them down. We need to reach millions. We need to be strategic about it. We got to find a way to do it, man. Like, take what we're doing right here, this show right here, right now, and thank you, Wile E. Coyote, for the coffees. And take it, be awesome. Take it on Reddit, take it nationwide, just to get it in front of fresh people. Because they'll always have me in a bubble over here on YouTube. Always have, always will. Last time I talked to a person, and it was rare, from YouTube, this lady that was calling me, she told me that there was something on my account that she couldn't even get. Not only could she not get it removed, she couldn't get an explanation, a valid explanation for what it was and what it meant. And it was bad news. I had some kind of mark or label, like some kind of like flag or whatever you want to say, on my account that could not be removed. And I could not get a valid explanation for what it was and why she couldn't get it removed and all this. She couldn't give me an answer. All the way up until the very last time I talked to him, I could not get an answer. That pissed me off. That's what I'm saying, man. I thank all you guys that share the stream all the time because you get it out in front of friends and family that I would never reach. I'd love to be just on the radio, though, if we could just get a connection, like somehow, some way. Something pulls me in that direction. Like, this has always been about the message. Obviously not about the money. Because they don't pay a truth. Truthers don't get paid good, let me tell you. But we need money to fight this fight. Somehow, some way. We need it. We need ammunition. We need a lot of things. We need to fight back. We need to be doing a lot of things on a lot of different fronts. We need to also be utilizing AI to fight for us. And fight back. We need to like fight fire with fire instead of just sitting there doing nothing. I don't know, man. In the meantime, they're going to continue to, as this says, launch Bolshevik-style revolution type ordeals here in this country. And it's driven by, as they're pointing out here, the same old goons. George Soros, the Waltons, as I said earlier, and they're admitting here, other places are starting to admit that these DEI programs out of different states are funneling the money into this. So it's getting more and more light. They're talking about it more and more here. So this dark shadow network is the same people that we've been telling you this whole time. But if that's what they got to call it, if that's what gets the attention of other people out here and more people are talking about it and saying, okay, it is happening. This is taxpayer money being used. Also, Soros and company. Well, like, why are you not arresting him? I just don't get it, man. Look at this one. An investigation reveals how the No Kings is partnered and its partners have bagged $114 million from what is called Arabella. You ever heard of that before? I didn't think so. Arabella is a dark money network, and they're funneling the money to fuel these protests. And they've tracked it down. Some of these people, what they'll do is like they'll take them up on their ad, and they'll be a part of it. They'll try to be a part of it. They'll try to be a host. They'll try to act like they want to be a part of it, and that's how they get in to get the goods, to find out what they're really doing. And they go undercover. They go James O'Keefe style, to go in and get the goods. Well, what they've done is they've gone in and they've seen that this Arabella has benefactors that are George Soros, Bill Gates, Hans George West. I don't know if you've ever heard of that guy. Mark Zuckerberg. That's right. And Reid Hoffman. They are openly connected to funneling money into Arabella, which in turn is cutting the checks for the chaos in everything. 100 and some million. Can you imagine that? Let's stop and think about that. How do you counter that? We've got an opposition right now that just is going to war. Billionaires going to war. They just threw over $100 million out. And we know about it. We're talking about it openly. They should be in court, going to jail. This is treason. $100 million to cause chaos in this country. We all know about it. Yet no one is going to get this piece of work that lives in New York State, right here in this country. George Soros. Or the other guy that I mentioned, Bill Gates, that, has a rap sheet as long as it gets. He's not going to get arrested because he was having dinner with Trump just this year at Mar-a-Lago talking about making money off jabs. You live in a freaking circus. This whole thing is a show. It's a scam. It's a show. These fools get away with it. How is somebody, that's how, there's like no righteous no one out there. Like, you ever seen the movie Scarface? In the end of the movie Scarface, like Scarface is in there and his mansion's getting raided, and all these dudes are coming up like jungle commandos. They're coming up in the front yard, the side yard. They're climbing up the back patio window, right? God bless you, Paul Walker. Right? That's the end of Scarface. And it's a shootout. They storm the compound to take him out. How come this never happens to any of the bad guys in real life? These people, this mafia is so powerful that obviously they can do these things and show you right in the open. They can put their names on it, sign off on it, and be like, look, this is coming this Saturday, you fools. A whole wave of chaos, and we paid for it, and this is how much we paid for it. F you. That's exactly what they say to us every time. It's what they've done again. You know who's responsible. And look at this piece of crap work here. This ass Patel. I can't stand this rat face fool. This treasonous piece of work. We've been so set up. But Cash Patel is no hero. Him and Dan Bongino done came right out the gate covering up Epstein. Now that that's done, he says he's going to probe these NGOs. Really? Well, we've already got it all figured out there. Big investigator. Mr. Epstein killed himself. We already know who did it. And you already know who did it. By far, you don't have to even launch a probe. But I said it here tonight. It's in the freaking wide open. Mr. Gates, Mr. Soros. But yet you and your boys, the FBI, will not be paying him a visit. Will you? Will you? Will you? See, look, maybe they're listening. Maybe they'll say, okay, so we're going to go down and we're going to make a staged event. We're going to make it, we're going to go and we're going to talk with them. We're going to tell everybody, yeah, we went down, we had to talk with them. Whoopie-doo. Like, you got enough to, like, arrest them and indict them and everything else. Like, you go on and on and on, especially with Gates. Like, you've got him on video committing crimes because he's not a registered doctor and he's administering vaccines and other medicines to kids in Africa and all this other stuff. You've got him on camera saying that we can reduce the world's population through jabs. He's on camera saying this. He's busted all over the place, man. And like all these goons are, they're busted. Soros is busted on writing checks to people to cause chaos for the past decade. Like, you've got the evidence. Don't tell me that. Don't give me that. That's why it's all garbage. This is another smoke and mirrors, man. We had this figured out before we even got to this headline. And of course, do you think Patel or any of them are going to arrest Gates or Soros? Huh? Like, maybe we should head over to Polymarket and start putting some bets on it. Will they be arrested by the end of Trump's, by the time they're dead, or the end of Trump's time on the clock here? This 4-year tenure. Huh? Will it? Because I'm still waiting for Hillary to go to prison. You see, some of us been in this game so long. Some people are green now, and they're like, what does he mean, Hillary? Well, this isn't our first rodeo, first time around the block. You know, I went to that inauguration, all that 2016. Trump ran the slogan that he was going to put Hillary in prison if he was elected. He never did it. Never attempted to do it. Mr. Fake Right, Go Left. Mr. Gentile Messiah. Yeah. Yeah, Donald Trump. Chump, as I call him. He sold us out. He knows his role. And it's rock star status. Now, this is interesting. This whole thing about the kings, they brought this up, and his comment was like, he don't feel like a king because he's got to jump through all these hoops to make things happen. Here.
Several No Kings protests planned across the country on Saturday as well. What are your thoughts on those?
What are they called? Kings?
No Kings.
I don't feel like a king. I have to go through hell to get stuff approved. A king would say, I'm not going to get this. A king would have never had the California mandate to even be talking to him. He wouldn't have to call up Mike Johnson and Thune and say, fellas, you got to pull this off, and after years we get it done. No, we're not a king. We're not a king at all. Thank you very much.
So he's saying he's got to go through all these, jump through these hoops. He's not a king, you know. Just like, reminds me of Elon's comments when he was asked, like, get the world's most powerful man, well, richest man. So, like, how's the power feel? And he's like, well, I'm not really that powerful. I don't control legions. He called out Putin. He said, or Putin, world leaders, they control legions. He goes, that's power. And you can see right there that the world's most richest man, Elon Musk, is thirsty for power. It's not enough to be the richest man. It's not enough. He seeks more. He seeks more. Why do you think this whole thing, this kind of hit a crescendo here when he had to exit with Trump and it got bad? It got like child's play. Because he got that close to the top of the real power structure, but you can't go no further. so to speak. He's just another member of the club. They're like, fall back in line. Like, you're only the richest man because the club makes you the richest man. Fall back. You see what I'm saying? And Elon now, oddly enough, has legions of optimists. It is the scariest thing when you sit and think about it. And thank you, Lowrider, for the 15 coffees. Thank you for the undying support and always being there, my brother. Appreciate it more than you know. Most people are thinking of Red Chinese, rightfully so at this point, and just any setup. The enemy coming. But I'm telling you now, man. Like, we need some big money. We need some big righteous money makers to help the people here, because we need like people that are sitting there in a think tank every day, like they can make things happen to fight back against this. Like, we're facing legions of the Optimus bot coming to kill people at some point. That's what's going to make him the most powerful man. He's creating these warriors, and they're going to unleash them. I'm telling you, if they haven't done it already on some lone tribe and some far off place that no one heard about, like, they're training Optimus to kill against people in a war type setting. And it's the most dangerous thing. As soon as the people realize the danger in it, because they're ignorant to a lot of things, as soon as they realize that this thing is the most deadliest thing like ever in their life, the revolt against it, but it's going to be too late. Like, they're already pitching this. Elon says of all the products he's involved in, this is going to be the one thing that absolutely everyone on the planet will want. Every family will want an Optimus in their home. Everyone. Kim Kardashian's got one pushing it and all this. What happens, though, when you get out of line? Literally, you've got Big Brother sitting there in your house. Oh, you think he's going to, and maybe he will secure you if somebody breaks in. But when the tables turn, gets hacked, or I don't know, the same AI that doesn't want to shut down and is blackmailing the engineers decides it gets a wild hair up its robotic butt and doesn't want to listen and wants to beat you that night. Because somewhere in the hands of time here, it picked up an algorithm, this information that it's possible to beat someone, and it just wants to do it. And like all of a sudden, things change. What happens if things are given orders to take people out? I mean, there's always the dream of having R2D2, 3CPO, righteous little robots that are going to work for you, the good guys, right? It's always possible. It's always there, right? But man, this always comes back to the same thing. There's evil people running this whole planet. They are in control of all the technology. They are in control of, like I just said, the R2D2s, the C3POs, the Optimuses, the Terminators. That's what that's what it goes to. You go from 3CPO to Terminator. It's one end of the spectrum to the other. Okay? And Optimus, as they brand it, kind of falls like right in the middle. It's all about how you program it, right? Willow, thank you for the coffee. Much love, God bless. It's all about what you're feeding it, right? The algorithms it's trained on, or is it? Is it? If it's what we really think it is here, tapping into an artificial intelligence, the Jinn, then that's exactly what it is. That's the scarier part of the whole thing. I believe they've already mastered all this, man. It's super scary behind the scenes, man. That's why I say that we need to find a way to counter it. We need to be making our own bot, like, or take our own Optimus or some type of bot, and like we have to train it to fight back or something. Defend the house. Part of your security. Training on algorithms that you trust. Raise it righteously, so to speak. bless it with the Holy Spirit in the end. I mean, no gin can attach to it. You got to do something. Or you're going to have to come up with creative ways to destroy these things. It keeps coming back to me every single stream because when I see an issue, I like to try to tackle it or come up with a way to solve the problem. And it's when it keeps coming up. I keep seeing it. So it keeps coming up out of nowhere. It's glaring right in your face, like, oh, look what they're slipping in with the AI and all this stuff. These bots that everyone on the planet's gonna have one. Well, that's just insane. Again, you got Big Brother in your own home. He's gonna come upstairs because you got out of line, beat the crap out of you, and haul you outside, throw you in the cyber truck, and like haul you off to where? Like, I don't even know how crazy this goes and gets. What happens when you want him to go? Think you got beholds with a coffee. And he don't want to go. Just like he didn't want to listen to the engineers. Huh? Man, it's too late for that. Fighting for your life against one of these things. It kills you. Your family members or anything like that. It's going to happen at some point. Someone's going to get rich. Well, who knows? Who knows what kind of dotted line you got to sign when you buy one of these things? I'm sure people don't even read the fine print. I'm sure they're covered there. He'd have to be, or Elon would get sued to oblivion as soon as Optimus does something. Imagine Kim Kardashian sitting at the table and it knocks her front teeth out. Like, shut up, backhands her in front of everybody, and like, you don't know where it came from, don't know why it did that, but like, you disfigured her, you did all these things, so now you're catching lawsuits, it attacked, it did all these things, and like, I can almost guarantee you it's gonna happen. Nothing is perfect. Something's gonna happen. This is gonna get crazy. Gonna get crazy. All right, so, well, LaMonica McIver hit with federal charges, and I don't believe that this is right. That's why I'm mentioning it. I don't believe in all the crap she believes in, but she's left-leaning, and she's fighting against the feds in the street. And I don't know, because she swung her arms and like hit one, like, maybe with an elbow or shrug, like nothing. That wasn't trying to kill any of them. You're going to put her in jail for 17 years. That's just excessive. I said that before about J6ers and all this other stuff. I may not even agree with what they believe in, but it's not the point. Like, no one should be thrown in jail for like, this long on petty charges, pretty much, on what other people in other situations would have gotten a fraction of the time on. It's someone that may not even have ever even had a criminal history. But they're making an example out of her. Why? Because she touched one of the feds. You see where they're going with this, right? This whole thing of they're rolling the feds out to battle all these protesters. And what did the cops say earlier? You're like, if you even throw a brick, if you throw a brick or a Molotov cocktail firebomb at the police, a brick, they're going to shoot you dead. Let me tell you something. You know how many front lines I've been on and bricks have been thrown at the cops right there, front line? Never once did they fire back with real bullet. They responded, though, with pepper spray and rubber bullets and all that other stuff, but not with real bullets. But the police get super physical on the front lines. So, I don't know. All this crazy. I won't play this clip here of AOC getting questioned. I just think it's kind of comical. Like, you can tell she didn't even want to have it, and she gets all feisty because she's getting called out. But this is what people need to do. I salute people that do more of this. These people shouldn't be able to just run around DC, running from spot to spot, just ha, we're fooling them all, getting paid millions. No, you should be able to call them out and apply the pressure in a peaceful manner like this guy does. Try to get answers. You may not get the answers, but worth a shot.
Hey, Congressman, you blame President Trump for the chaos in LA for sending the National Guard in. Are you aware that they were already rioting before he sent the National Guard in?
Not even just about the National Guard. This is about the Trump administration. That's not related to the National Guard. It's related to ICE and the Trump administration.
So it's about the Trump administration enforcing the law.
Breaking the law.
How are they breaking the law?
It is U.S. federal statute that United States members of Congress have open access to detention facilities, and it is illegal for ICE to block entry for investigations of those facilities. They blocked and barred members of Congress from investigating these facilities at the start of this in Los Angeles, in New York. This is documented. Do your job.
They got into investigate the facility. Yeah, they did. And LaMonica McIver, do you think it's okay to assault law enforcement? Is it okay to body slam law enforcement? Congresswoman, is it okay to body slam? Is it okay to attack law enforcement? Congresswoman, you didn't answer my question.
Of course, she got all feisty. She wanted to prove her point and shove it down the camera. But when he was asking the question and just trying to get an answer, she wouldn't answer. You know, of course, and they're just, is it okay to beat on a police officer? And she rolls her eyes and she can't even give an answer. She takes off to an easy question. You know, she spewed what she wanted, but this is better than letting them run around through the halls of all these places and do whatever they want, thinking that they're fooling us all. Like, good for this guy. Spring out on them. I want to see more videos like this, and I'll share them if I do. You got to keep them honest, man. You got to let them know, man, we're watching. Like, we see you. You know. All right, we're going to go over here to Alex Padilla. He apparently gets arrested in what it's kind of crazy, man. I'll play the scuffle. It seemed, I don't know, it's kind of staged, but the whole thing was just weird. He was trying to yell and disrupt Chrissy Nome at a press conference and ask a question, but simply ask a question. But all of a sudden it gets into this, as you're going to see here, this altercation.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
Another one. Oh yeah, take him around the corner.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go and stand behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording loud out here.
Round him up. Shackle him. Customer right here, right? Then make this ordeal about it. But there's different takes on this. I'm gonna play Stephen Smith's quick take.
Here you have this Senator, Alex Padilla. Can Kristi Noem speak? Could you have waited till she finished to ask your questions? To shout your questions? You are a senator, right? You couldn't wait? So that was just you out of control because you were just losing it, huh? You, a United States Senator, couldn't compose yourself and let the head of Homeland Security finish her thoughts before you asked the question. Couldn't do that, huh? Couldn't do it, huh?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a smartass in his own right there, but he's got a point. You know, he could have just let her finish talking, and like everyone else, like the media gets a chance to ask questions and all that stuff. He could have waited till then and like avoided all this, but he interrupted the whole thing, caused a scene, And that's what they do. If you're going to interrupt something like that and cause a scene, they're there trained to get you out. So, as a senator, he should know this. That's why it's like, why was he behaving in that manner? But I mean, everybody's free to do what they want, right? This is one of those things. So that Trump and Elon seem to be friends. They got into a big fight, as I said earlier, rocked the markets. It rocked the markets harder than even Israel-Iran. That's crazy. Who would have ever thought that? But it did. These two get into a little feud. So Trump praises Elon for never asking for favors regarding the EV mandates, saying that that was very cool, and kind of they've publicly kind of made up. Elon has said, basically sorry publicly out in the open and all these things, and it looks like Trump at first he didn't want to, but like now he's accepted, and it's kind of like they're getting over it. So that's where that stands. That drama. I want to mention this. We still are facing this big, ugly bill getting voted on, which has been stalled out, and they're tripping on it. Every single day they're tripping like, let's go, let's go, let's go. They're pointing the gun at anyone. It's like acting like they're not going to vote for it. And I showed you what they did with Rand Paul. Rand Paul said that, look, I'm against it because of blah, blah, blah. I'll get to that in a second. And they skewered him for it. But look what they did here. The House voted to strip this ineligible provision from the bill. And why I want to show you this is because it shows you that they could vote out the AI just the same way right here. They could vote the AI out if we made a large enough buzz, which that was the whole point we've been trying to do this whole time. But again, people are so lazy, they don't do nothing. This is why we're going to get screwed. A salute to the handful out there that reached out to the senators on social media and actually did it. Because it does make a difference. But for everybody else that just listens and doesn't do anything, it's your lack of doing anything that gets us screwed. And yeah, well, we tried to apply the pressure, and in my state on Rand Paul seems to stand out as almost like the lone one that's taking the brunt of this. He was the only person apparently not invited to this picnic at the White House and all this stuff because of his stance. Trump and all of them tried to reverse all that, try to say something else, blah, 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 that they are invited, this and that. But the biggest takeaway here is that the AI infrastructure thing is the biggest threat. And they could vote on it just like this to get it removed. This shows you it's possible. Like they could do it. They did just out of nowhere today. They were like, all right, this is a problem. We need to remove it. Let's vote on it. They voted on it and they pulled it. Okay, pull up the AI. But no one's saying pull up the AI next because it's not being heard loud enough. I'm telling you, man, this ain't good. Instead, what they're doing is they're using all these protests. All these senators are going on X and they're like, pass the BBB, that'll fix it. That'll give us more money to pay for more cops on the street. And man, that's a carrot on a stick if I've ever seen one. And if you want to be one of the people like, well, it worked, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, you're small-minded. You fell right into the trap. One of the same people like I call you Trumper, like you need to say something about Trump, and you're like, well, it was him. Or like we gave you a pass that you voted for Trump over Biden. We understand that, but that's in the rear view. Now your president needs to be held accountable, and you seem to be afraid to do any of it. All you want to do is sit there with your pom-poms cheerleading on the sidelines all the time, and nobody wants to call it out. I've seen some people starting to wake up and do it, which is good. Maybe they're starting to see, MAGA is everything that we said it is. This big, beautiful bill is everything that we said it was and is. And like, you should have known something was up when Elon was pitching a fit about it. Like all this stuff. Again, Elon, Rand, all these other people, no one wants to mention the AI thing. They want to talk about the deficit and spending and all this money is the reason they don't want to see it passed. But he says here, there's one thing that could secure his vote, that he could be bought like a buster. Paul says that he indicated he could ultimately support the legislation if a key condition is met, removing the debt ceiling increase from the bill. That's it. So that's sellout, and that's not good enough, and it's garbage. So the one lone man that was standing here, like at the top, like, so all of a sudden you got a price and you can be bought and paid. That's how I take it. Like you're basically saying that like this is your ultimatum. You don't think that they would meet that? Huh? What if they did pull it? What if they pull this debt ceiling increase from the bill and they put it in something separate? It still brings no attention to the AI at all. That's the problem here. It's all smoke and mirrors. We're screwed. And, Hillary and Bill, the Clinton cartel, it. That's what they're called, right? They should be arrested like on site all the time, anywhere. But no, they're treated like royalty for some freaking reason in this mafia-ran country. All right? Where they use black magic to brainwash all the people. Well, here they are out and about. I just want to play this clip. See how people are like, oh my gosh. Like, they should be arrested. Like, but no, they've got Secret Service protection every little place they go for the rest of their lives and days. She does, and Bill looking frail.
Hillary, can you sign? Hillary, can you sign, please? Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
It's such an honor to see you.
How are you?
Bill!
Thank you. Bill, please. Bill, thank you so much.
Oh my God, such an honor.
It's an honor.
It's such an honor,
Thank you
Mr.
so much.
President.
Thank you.
Oh my God, Bill.
Ridiculous. This is the world we live in. Criminal cartel mafia members just like this run loose in broad daylight all the time. And you just got one in office at this that's covering for them. Obviously, they're not threatened. They're never going to be threatened. This is the establishment. Again, Trumpers, where are you on this? Why aren't you screaming at Trump and everybody? Like, arrest them. It's pointless here at this point. No one's doing nothing. It's ridiculous. That's why I keep telling you we're done. We're done for. That's why I keep saying it. Because of all these circumstances. Ain't nobody going to hold this man accountable. He's going to take the whole herd into the tribulation. Huh. I didn't even realize this was next, but here we go. Let's get into Israel. Let's get into this whole thing of Iran in Israel, and potential World War III exploding. Because that's what we're looking at here. You got two hot fronts on the world stage, Ukraine and this one. Anywhere Israel turns its guns. Like a seven front war is what they call it, is what they're going for. You've seen the genocide. If you go over and you look on my X feed, there is a video clip. It looks like hell on earth, and it is a pan across Gaza. I'm sorry. When I stop and I think of what I have to watch all the time, these clips of babies and bodies blown apart in smithereens every single day, it pisses me off so bad. And Israel. Getting hit probably right now as I speak by missiles with a Mossad. Unfortunate here because Iran doesn't seem that they have like pinpoint accuracy. As long as they're getting in some missiles into Israel and they're exploding, they're celebrating. You know, it doesn't matter if they're hitting the middle of the street, if they're hitting an apartment building, or what. It's like as long as they're getting through. We're gonna look at some of this here. So this is what went down. We knew something was going to happen, okay? And I want to say also here that like I can tell, you know, some of these people out here just they're led by the nose by I guess the mainstream media, their TV. And like they'll show up in the comments section and they'll be like Trump didn't blah 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 blah. I'm just like, well, what do you mean? Like who even cares about that? Why are you over here barking about something that doesn't even matter? Like Trump didn't know that they were going to even attack them. And it's just like, oh, yeah? You feel that passionate about it, huh? Like, where did you come from? What hole did you come out of? Like, I've never even seen, like, oh, okay. That's how you feel, huh? Oh, you cats all up in arms because you're just damn sure that Trump didn't know nothing about this. Well, I'm about to prove you so wrong in many ways. And if you cared, you would care, but other people just wouldn't. They just don't. They just care about what they think, and that's it. Okay, well, Trump, TNF, much love. Salutes. Trump put out several statements. I covered them, and I told you. Trump told Iran they had 60 days, and boy, it flew by quick. 60 days. Well, guess what? Guess what he posted today on this Friday the 13th? Guess what he says? He goes, well, when it comes to Iran, we tried. He goes, I told him, you have 60 days to do something. 60 days to make something happen with these talks, right? He goes, today was day 61. Okay? And the strikes began. So, he didn't know the timing and all that. You're a fool. To think that they definitely played everyone. What does this say? The U.S. and Israel used deception to give a false look to Iran, and they lied. And the general from the Israeli army came out and said, yes, Trump went along with the whole plan. He acted like he was trying to work on peace deals with Iran, but they knew the whole time that we were going to launch. So let me back up to all these goons that are over here chirping that Trump didn't know anything. Oh, yeah, he did. You're right here, they're admitting it. I mean, of course he did. He knew everything. Commander-in-Chief didn't know these military moves. Like, man, you live in an own spaced out world, and just admit you were wrong on this one. But see, that's the problem. You can't do it. And you won't call him out where it needs to be called out. You definitely won't do that. Especially when you can't admit something just like this. So, anyhow, Trump knew that Mossad let the cat out the bag and just basically told everybody, yeah, he knew. Yeah, he knew. So if you feel played because you were lied to by your media and whoever else, or lied to by the Trump administration, any of them, like, blame them. Put it where it needs to be. Shoot the messenger. It's garbage. Anyhow, I'm gonna show you some of these clips of the bombings. This is Tehran getting hit. Many different places. Of course, people panic because they're not used to this. In Tehran took some hits. So then, go to this next one. This is what happened. They hit the Natanz nuclear enrichment facility, which is largely an underground facility, but also has fusion stuff above ground. Okay. They struck That facility and a handful of other places, and also went after a couple key people. As it says here, here's a summary of the developments. It says that the air defenses are active again tonight over the Iranian capital of Tehran. Israel says it completely destroyed the Tabriz military base in Iran. So whatever base they had there, they're saying they wiped it out. Israel. The next Israel attack, they say potential targets are likely economic, including oil, gas infrastructure, and things like that. Fox, the U.S. Army is assisting in shooting down incoming Iranian missiles with Patriot PAC-3 missiles and with the THAAD. So again, of course they knew of everything. Of course, they're right there at the hip. Would sit there and think the commander-in-chief was, oh my God, that is, I'd be pissed too. I'd be butthurt and pissed too if I was everyone out there that bought this, that listened, that believed this. And you got played by the Gentile Messiah. This is what they're willing to do. Just lie to the masses, play this whole thing off. I'd be pissed. Israel completely evacuates the Ben Gurion International Airport, including civilian aircraft. The U.S. confirms American equipment and assets being used in defending Israel in these strikes. International media widely confirms several major strikes on Israeli cities. International reports also say 7 Israelis injured, some in serious condition. Israeli attacks could push Iran to pursue what? Nuclear weapon? Like, hasn't that been the threat the whole time? Iran closes airspace until tomorrow afternoon. So we'll get another assessment then, I guess, of the situation. As long as that remains closed, there's a threat, large part on the table. If it opens back up, that means they believe that the barrage is likely over for the meantime. Missiles are the beginning of the response here, Iran said. So this is just the beginning. This first barrage is just the beginning. Like, and they're saying the war flag has been raised in Iran. Like, it's all out war. Like, it's war, not some tit for tat. Like, this is war. And this is why Israel's getting hit tonight inside key spots, inside Tel Aviv. And they're going to, because like cowards, the Mossad is hiding right in the middle of the city, right in the heart where all these people are living. Ridiculous. No, they could be up standing firm, trying to hold their ground somewhere like, I don't know, Mount Hermon that they took over up there. But no, they're hiding right in the heart, in the middle of the city, to where these long-range ballistic missiles that are not pinpoint accurate are probably going to come down and hit a surrounding apartment building, since that's what they're surrounded by. It's ridiculous. And then they have the nerve to try to say anything about anyone else, the tactics that they use. Okay, so here is one of the bigger key things. When Israel struck Iran, they hit the nuclear site, and there are reports, and this is confirmed, that there's a radiological and chemical contamination at this Natanz site. They're trying to say the public's okay and all this stuff at the moment, yada yada, but they got to get in there and something's got to be done, and that this is the situation. So radiological and chemical contamination at this site, and they could be getting hit right now. Again, a follow-up hit. Who's going to stop it? They're successful shooting some of the stuff out of the sky, but not all of it. This is Jordan launching. I'm going to go through some clips so you can see what the sky looks like here as this war is breaking out. This is Jordan trying to take down stuff over their airspace. Wow. Wow. look at this shot and this coming in. And look, the defenses missed it. Like, this is crazy. Oh, man. We'll play that back. I'm going to play the whole thing in real time. So it's like they tried to fire something off to, like, take it out. Air defense here. Like right there. It circled around. And another one went off. And they missed it. They missed it. It's like, apparently, they missed it. Here it comes. Right there. Look how quick that was. Wow. I'm telling you, man, in this day and age, we're about to see, you're about to witness with social media and stuff like this. You're going to witness. This is crazy. The bombs are dropping. And look, Tehran, Tel Aviv, these places getting hit real time. It's the same thing as Kiev and Moscow getting hit. You're talking the biggest cities in these countries are taking massive ballistic missiles and bombs. Like, this is war. Like, man, this is like World War. You don't know what day you're going to wake up. Everyone's going to realize this and be like, oh, okay, today was the day I'll finally say it's World War III. Like, what? Like, what event does it have to be? Like, so many people are involved. I said this over in Ukraine. The Chinese, the North Koreans, they're all there on the battlefield taking losses. Like, they're all involved. This is a world effort. Like, this is crazy. So that was just one little event. Yeah, when you gotta live through this, it reminds me. It's crazy. It reminds me of like the WEB fireworks down the river in Cincinnati. That sound with the city in the backdrop. Like, you're never used to seeing this happening. Like, right in the heart of the city, everything is getting blown up. Where all the city lights and everything, bombs are dropping. You're hearing the echo of explosions. Like, usually the only time I've ever heard that in the city coming up is like, I don't know, maybe someone smacked a home run out of the ballpark to light off some fireworks. Touchdown in a ball game. Or EBN fireworks they have down Cincinnati in the river, a huge fireworks show like on the river, like Thunder over Louisville, things like that. Those are the only times in my life I can ever associate. But why do we do that? What is all this? What does the 4th of July mimic? What is it representing? What are the fireworks mimic? They're mimicking this. Now you can see why soldiers hate it so much and so bad, and why they don't want nothing to do with fireworks shows and things like that. Because I just had the experience right there. I could see it. I could feel. I can understand. Like, you can't. I can fully understand it. Like, it's different, man. I guess when you've been in war and you see these things happening, these sounds stick with you as very vividly because of the shocking event that it was associated with. Then, when you're caught off guard, fireworks go off in a city, it makes your heart pound and race, and you get this PTSD type deal going with it, man. That's not good. I can understand, like, how it messes with people. Look at this. This is more. Look how these missiles are coming in. They look like glow sticks. I'm serious. It's nuts. It must look like a glow stick on a string or something out here. But no, this is the weapons they're using and how they're coming in. You just seen the last one come in glowing the same way. And here you go. Oh. I mean, they're just this close. They're just coming down all over around town and city. Like, That's Tel Aviv. That's Tel Aviv right now. And this is back to Tehran.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
All right, dude's flipping out. I'm going to freaking turn it down, which sucks because just hear the background audio here. You can hear her again.
Allah.
You can hear it going off in the background, just like a fireworks. You know, thank you, Spiro. I will check that. Thank you again, God and Nicole, for the coffees. Interesting. I just checked, just refreshed my email, Spiro, and oh, okay. DM. That interception. All right, let me pull this up. Thank you, my brother. This is from Disclosed TV. Much love, Disclosed TV. They've always been cool, respectful, share my work, everything else. So it's much love to them. This is a THAAD interception of an Iran ballistic missile beyond Earth's atmosphere. So the reason that this looks the way it does is out in like subspace. So that the reaction that you're seeing is a bit different than if it happened in the atmosphere. So this already looks pretty wild here. Wow. Oh, yeah. Get that. It's got it up there. Not sure what kind of missile was launched. These are Iranian ballistic missile. That's all we know. So these are not hypersonics. They're not launching hypersonics. All right, let's just get that straight. What Russia launched and used over in Ukraine for the first time, what we witnessed there, you couldn't touch. They hit every single target that they aimed for. No one has shot down a hypersonic missile yet. There's no footage of it. No one's been able to do it. We're being told all these are ballistic cruise missiles. Your conventional missiles that they've had sitting around on the shelf for all this time. They're going to wish I don't know. They upgrade. They've got them in their arsenal somewhere here. I mean, Russia's not the only one with hypersonics. I mean, if China's got them, the United States has got them. A couple others. Israel's not even supposed to have nukes, but we all know they do. So, they probably got anything and everything the United States can supply them with at this point. Here are more shots. This is downtown Tel Aviv, massive smoke plumes. Unknown in terms of the casualties here.
And the terminal high-altitude air defense systems are all going off at the same time, it seems here. The last time this happened, there was a coordinated defense between Israel, the United States, and other countries, including Jordan, to intercept these with aircraft as well. Trey, I mean, it's unbelievable to see what we're seeing going on in the skies above Tel Aviv right now.
Yeah, John, Sandra, you saw those live images. Israel is under a massive ballistic missile barrage. I have reported here for nearly 7 years and never seen such an attack against an Israeli city. The amount of air defense that you saw going off there it's unprecedented.
go back and play that explosion.
And the terminal high altitude air defense systems are all going off at the same time, it seems here. The last time this happened, there was a coordinated defense between Israel, the United States, and other countries, including Jordan, to intercept these with aircraft as well. Trey, I mean, it's unbelievable to see what we're seeing going on in the skies above Tel Aviv right now.
Yeah, John, Sandra, you saw those live images. Israel is.
Oh wow! So yeah, that one right there, man.
Barrage.
It looks like
John. Yeah.
Oh, it hit. And look, they targeted. They knew right here. They hit where the missiles are coming from. You see, they popped this one off. This is their missile defense system. They knew where the missile defense system was. Look, see where it's coming out? It's just coming out of the middle of the city. The United States has this as well. Like up in Montana and other places like that, there's houses up there that have missile silos in them that you would never know. They're like dummy houses or even real houses that have missiles in them, right? So this is that shot coming in that made it through. They didn't get it, and it came down. And man, it might have missed it by a football field less than that. It like hit right next to it as one was taking off, and like that was like a dud. I don't know where that one went to. That's how this war's going right now. They're hitting. That shows me right there that they've got some precision on their strikes here. Look. Iran can block the Straits of Hormuz after this. You want to talk about escalation? Obviously, nuclear tips can get thrown down. If they want to go and choke off these three key points, you know, this affects China. This affects all these other countries. Like China controls these ports over here. You know, China backs Iran. You know, this ends up putting Saudi Arabia square in the middle of a lot of action, man. Just like it is Iraq right now. The embassy, somebody said earlier in Iraq, it done been hit. I will say this. At least it's not as bad yet. And hopefully it doesn't get to be, but I've never seen anything in my life, and I've seen a ton of war footage, and I've seen a ton of stuff like I just showed you about cities getting hit. As far as the whole entire sky being lit up, I've never seen anything as crazy as the Gulf War. The Gulf War lighting up the sky over Iraq when it first happened, when I was young, was on TV. It was like an insane fireworks show across the whole sky, and it was constant. It was a constant. Especially when they were running up in there, and Saddam was said to have been fleeing, and some of his family, his sons were getting out of there, and they killed Uday, all this other stuff. Yeah, that was a crazy time. And I've been reporting on this for so long. I remember the exact day. I remember when they said that Saddam Hussein, they thought this was a live television on our news here in America. They said that they thought that Saddam slipped into Syria through the northern border with some of his sons already. And never forget that day. Then after that, they come in and they said that they found him in this foxhole somewhere and all this stuff, and they ran facial stuff on that guy. Pinpoints of the guy that they hung and said was Saddam Hussein, and it did not match the Saddam Hussein of old, the Saddam we knew. Any of the images, any of the facial point structures, the computer pulled a non-match. That it was not the same, was not the same character. A blood test was confirmed because it was said to be a cousin of Saddam's that looked similar and passed the blood, and they hung him. And it was all for optics, it was said. That was real stuff. They said that on the TV at the time, and I thought, man, did he really get away? They let him get away and then have to pull off this charade that they hung him. That would mean that he was hiding in Syria, who was in Syria. Bashir al-Assad. Now, I highly doubt. I don't know. The way that this world works in these key players, obviously if Saddam was a threat, they took him out. He's Gaddafi was a real threat. They took him out in the streets, right? Look, Gaddafi would have been right here up here in Libya, and it's in chaos right now. Egypt is going to see a lot of blowback out of this. The Sinai, see what they got circled here? This is going to draw down hard because it's closest to Israel. It's closest to the home front. This whole Sinai, man, Israel can make a move, I'm telling you, to take it, to say they have to defensively to protect themselves. I mean, is Egypt just going to give it to them? I mean, like, what the? Again, Iran, the Straits of Hormuz, man, this is, we'll see. This pig, Lindsey Graham, cheering on the attacks. He says Trump should go all in and finish the job. So I can't stand this guy. He's another one that he's just an establishment piece of crap goon that didn't care about the AI stuff that's about to be implemented. None of it. He's like, he doesn't care about nothing. He's gotten away with doing this for years. It's made him rich, and he's going to sit over here and cheerlead for more war because nobody does nothing. And that's what he's figured out. Like, the people are stupid. They're docile. They're not going to do nothing. Like, nobody even shows up at our office and says anything. The phone's not even ringing. You see how bad this is? Yeah, we're in bad shape. Nobody will apply any pressure anywhere. So, by and large, that's why we're going to go down. All these people sitting there. Most of the Trumpers, put all their faith in Trump. And again, the Gentile Messiah. That's the end of it. Look at this comment made by Wickoff. Special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Wickoff, makes these comments. He said that Trump could serve as both the U.S. president and the Israeli prime minister. This is a crazy statement. If there's anybody out there that would be able to fill these shoes and actually do it, it was going to be Trump because of everything going on. If they're talking about openly with all this backlash, removing or replacing Netanyahu, well, it would all have been, oh my gosh, Trump becomes the leader of, it would be short-lived anyway. I mean, what? He's old and all this. Man, they're about to pull some stuff off. I told you they were going up to Temple Mount casting their spells. I just seen they were doing it again. This means that they're about to attack it. They're about to they're going to, what they believe, cleanse it. They're going to go up there and wipe it clean so they can begin constructing the third temple. Look, if they're willing to strike Tehran and they take out this whole nuclear thing and they're successful here and they go to this level, like, who's going to stop them? What's going to stop them from doing whatever they want? You tell me that. Who else? It's going to end up blowing back now to their Iran's allies, Russia and China. Okay? Which, there's prophecy that Russian troops will march to the streets of the Holy Land to secure it. Interesting. Al-Qaeda has a leader that is calling for the assassination of Trump, Vance, Musk, Rubio, Hegseth, all of them. All right. It's one of the same guys that you guys groomed and you created, right? Just like Jolani, right? In Syria. This carbon copy cookie cutter Osama bin Laden's again, right? It's all this has ever been over and over again. But here's the next guy jumping out the shadows calling for this. What bothers me about this is that when they're being brazen, calling for direct death threats on Trump and all them, that means that like anything can happen. Like attacks can happen in large crowds here in America, and it's going to be them. They'll claim it, and they'll proudly do so. You guys remember just earlier this year, the Cybertruck attack? I told you that was going to be the beginning. It marked the beginning of something. And they haven't even begun dropping bombs on our border yet. Just wait. Just wait till this whole thing goes in motion. So Russia says it's not going to end the Ukraine war until NATO pulls all of its forces out. Doubt it's going to happen. Seems to keep on going. Russia also relocated its strategic bombers because some of them got hit on a tarmac. This is very interesting. Make note of this. Remember last time I told you that all of the Patriot missile systems that came out of Israel got moved into Ukraine. They got wiped out. They got wiped out because hypersonic missiles hit them. And we cannot stop them. Okay, folks? That's what's happening here. Now look at this one. Nearly all Abrams tanks that the U.S. gave Ukraine have been destroyed or disabled. So in this proxy war, all of the best defensive weapons that we can throw Ukraine in our tanks and everything, every bit of it is obsolete. Do you realize this is virtually us hardwaring this war? It always has been. It's a proxy war. We're backing it. And we're getting whooped. Yeah, Trump has tried to play this peacemaker card and tried to back out of the whole situation, and away from Europe. But NATO keeps applying this pressure. Like, they really want a big war with Russia. Like, they're going to get it. Like, I don't see how this thing, I think a nuke's going to fly. That's why it's on the Chinese rover pick and always was telegraphed. It's written in the stars. But I'm just letting you know. Everyone thinks America, big bad, military arsenal, all this stuff. Well, you better look at the facts, Jack. Our equipment performing up against what Russia's got and using against and countering, all of our stuff's been wiped out. I done told you the defense missile systems have been wiped out, so much so they got to send more in, and they're just going to get wiped out. You mark my words. And all the Abrams tanks are gone. Like, dude, they're done. You're done at this point. Like, capitulate. Like, give it up. Like, if they want to save face or save any part of Ukraine, they better be striking a deal very soon. They may have missed a chance because Russia acts like they're going to go all the way, like all the way to the western part where they're only going to leave a sliver. And Russia in this one reminds the whole world that they have the most advanced nuclear weapons, that they do. Not America, not Israel, not anyone else, that they do. And they're right at this point here on the world stage because nobody has been able to even shoot down a hypersonic missile. So as far as I'm concerned, just strap a nuclear tip, even a conventional one, a small one, a tactical one, on one of these hypersonics, and boy, you've got a nightmare. They could pepper all types of places with tactical nukes on top of hypersonic missiles all day long, and no one could stop them. No one's proven it yet. Like, again, they haven't strapped these tactical nukes on the tips of them, but like, what's stopping them? Hypersonic missiles at these high levels, and also getting up into the space games, launching from some satellites. And like the clip I shared with you earlier, Spiro sent over, them intercepting one in subspace. This is real deal. Because these missiles, they have to go so far. They climb that high. And they become easier targets for space-based weaponry. They can intercept them. So THAAD works off of a conglomerate of all that. It's got an interconnected system that has all that. They've got satellites up there. They've got the ground-based stuff. They got stuff out in the water. They got a big system with that. But hypersonics, man, seem to be the big thing. And if there was to be another war front that's going to pop up and like you could throw it into the basket of World War III, I mean, to totally escalate everything, it's going to be China making a move on Taiwan. And they've openly said that they're going to do this by 2027. Okay? The time's slipping away. Flying by. And you know it. It doesn't have to be 2027. It said by then. They're going to unify. They're going to take them. There's going to be a huge military move. It's going to happen. Watch out. And China's got us by, you know, they've Trojan horsed us. They've got over 1 million troops in here. They've got ownership of property right next to the bases all over the place. It's pathetic. It's a setup. The only way that they could be successful in everything that they've done at this point is if we were set up, which we have been. So, you know, Christopher Wray, on his way out the door, said that China is hidden within all aspects of our country. You don't think they're not going to attack? On the last stream, I showed you there was rooms and rooms, droves and droves of Chinese students being trained to attack U.S. infrastructure. Every day, like right now, rooms are being trained to do what? To do nothing? To not never pull it off? They're going to do it. Like, that's a crippling coming. Desire for Truth, thank you for all those memberships, and for everyone that got one, welcome to the underground. That's where we at. Wow, 11:30, quick. I told you time is flying. All right, so brings us to a close on another one here. Look, I don't know what's going to happen in the coming days at this war front, but, you know, anything is possible at this point, guys. Like, be ready. Look, I know it's been hard, and it is hard with us living in hard economic times. But I'm going to say this, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to tell you, like, everything else is an excuse. Like, you could be going all out, chalk up a plan, be putting stuff on credit card or something. You could be doing something to make a move for this end to get ready, or not. Or not. I mean, if it's all going to go down the drain, you know, look at it like that. Because if they're going to cripple this place that bad, I mean, that's what you're preparing for. You're preparing for society to break down. If it's going to get to that point, then what is paying a bill going to be? You know, like, I'm telling you, people, it's a last-ditch attempt before it all goes down. All right, I'm going to take us out of here, man. Check in with the chat, give some shout outs here. Again, if you guys got any beautiful shots like this one here, let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. If you got any interesting stories, any news, Dabu7@yahoo.com. Make sure to follow me on X. Check the notifications here on YouTube as well. See if they're sending you notifications. Open it up and see if it's checked. You might be surprised at what you find. And join me again for the next live stream. If the Lord doesn't come in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for Underground World News Live. Much love. God bless everybody. Again, thank you, Beach Girls, Wiley, Low Rider, Willow, Goppy Hogs, Nicole, and the legendary Eon. Much love, God bless y'all.